From WFRV TV, Local 5, serving Northeast Wisconsin, including Green Bay, Fox Cities, and the Lakeshore. This is Newsmaker Sunday.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Newsmaker Sunday. I'm Tom Zalaski. Well, it is that time of the year again where temperatures drop and the concern grows for our homeless population. Where do they go? Where are the shelters? Who takes care of them? What are their year-round needs? Our guest this morning, one of the people on the front lines of that effort, Jesse Brunette, St. John's Ministries' new executive director. Jesse, good to have you here this morning.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks
nice
so
to be
much
here.
for coming. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of St. John's, let's get into the nuts and bolts of Jesse. What was your pathway to get to your current position?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. I'm born and raised Green Bay. I attended Green Bay West and attended NWTC and then graduated from Silver Lake College. So I started my career in banking and the manufacturing sales, and about 9 years ago, about 10 years ago now, I started at Catholic Charities of the Diocese of Green Bay. So I held a variety of different positions there. Engaged with some of the homeless population through those positions at Catholic Charities, and been on staff at St. John's Ministries for about a year, and then about a few months back, I was promoted to the position of executive director.
Getting involved in St. John's Ministries, what was the motivation? What was the attraction? Why did you do it?
Yeah, I mean, I've always had an interest in human services, and the faith component of the work at St. John's Ministries is so important to me. And I think that what we have seen in the Green Bay community is the growing numbers of homeless individuals, those experiencing homelessness. And so my work at Catholic Charities and engaging in financial counseling and engaging in refugee resettlement, I understood the issues around homelessness in the community, some of the challenges, and I just felt like the work that St. John's Ministries provides is so important. And I applied about a year ago, and my first part of my career at St. John's was engaging with the church and faith group partners. And then from that, open position came up for executive director, and then I applied. And so I think that for me in this role, some of the career parts of my career that I built, as well as my education and some of my involvement in local government, I think kind of prepared me to be the leader because I understand the variety of different positions and situations affecting homelessness in the area.
What's the difference for the duties of Jesse, the staff member, and now Jesse, the executive director?
More tough decisions,
Yep.
Decisions that come daily, and I think we have a very good team, and we are so incredibly grateful and appreciative of all the community support that we have at St. John's Ministries. And so when we work together to confront and to help solve some of the issues around homelessness, to know that we have the community partnerships and the support of those who are appreciative of the work that we provide, it has made those tough decisions easier to make, knowing that we have the community support behind us.
What got you into politics? You're currently city council president.
Yeah, so I grew up in Green Bay.
Yep.
As I said, I grew up in maybe, I don't know the right way of saying this, but wasn't the best neighborhood. I mean, we had issues with blight and crime and drugs, and I just felt like we need people willing to get involved in local government from a very nonpartisan position to help improve the community.
So you came from there and said, I'm going to get us out of here.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, growing up in a neighborhood, just knowing that when people become disconnected from their government or through the services of their government, I think neighborhoods can start to deteriorate. And so from that, being involved in the nonpartisan stuff is very important to me. I believe in nonpartisan government. And so I served through Brown County Board for 4 years. I was on the Human Service Committee. Then I got elected to the City Council in 2012, and I served a term in District 8, and then took about a 4-year break as my wife and I were welcoming children into our family, and then moved out to the far west side and served there from 2012 until April, when I'm no longer going to be running for re-election.
St. John's Ministries, in a nutshell, what's your mission?
Our mission is to honor the dignity, restore hope, and create lasting change for those struggling or facing homelessness or housing instability in the Green Bay community.
And St. John's, open certain time of the year, all year round? How does that work?
Yeah, this is our 19th shelter season, and we are set up to operate our overnight shelters during the cold weather months, so from November 1st until April 30th.
And besides just housing people, what other services are you providing?
Yeah, we shelter guests during the evening hours and then provide, through our volunteers, a warm meal in the evening and then breakfast in the morning. And in addition to providing overnight shelter at our 2 facilities, we also have 2 daytime resource centers that are open year-round. So we are active in case management, active in providing computer labs and connecting to job resources, to providing mental health referrals and medical referrals. We try to reach the homeless through a variety of different ways in order to lead them to sustainable housing.
I'm going to talk more about those other services that you're providing after this. We're going to continue with Jesse and St. John's Ministries right after this. Stay with us. Back now with Jesse Brunette, the Executive Director of St. John's Ministries. St. John's, you serve both men and women, different shelters, different facilities. Yeah. Explain how that works.
Yeah, so this is our 2nd shelter season with a men's shelter and a women's shelter. So historically, we had been sheltering men and women together at the St. John's, the Evangelist Catholic Church or school. And during COVID, we had experienced what a lot of places experience, the social distancing or the need for social distancing. So during the COVID years, we due to the epidemic, we had to separate into different facilities for spacing issues. And what we realized was that the men and women sheltered together really improved some of the dynamics between those interpersonal relationships with men and women, and specifically for the women population to be amongst women who are struggling with similar situations. Maybe there's some domestic violence in their past. To have a shelter specifically for women, with women, has really helped the men and women, but primarily the women.
Yeah, do you look back now and say, really, we had men and women together?
When we, unfortunately, we had we had to shelter the men and women together as we opened the shelter season, because we had to overcome some of our struggles with staffing both facilities.
Sure.
With the job market the way that it is, it was difficult to find enough people to staff both shelters safely. And so we had to shelter men and women together to start this season, but fortunately, through the community support really stepping up to help us fill positions, we were able to open the women's shelter again on December 4th. Mm-hmm. So to answer your question, we have been exposed to that again this year, but it kind of reaffirmed our decision to shelter together or separate, because it's been very good for our population.
And you mentioned December 4th, you reopened the women's shelter. It was closed. Why was it closed, and how long was it?
Yeah, so going through the summer months into the fall, we were pretty close to having the full number of staff members to safely operate both shelters, but we were really 25% short on the necessary shifts. So November 1st, we were sheltering men and women together, and we did good. It was safe and it was a good environment, but the issue that we came across was we were pretty close to capacity. Yep. We were 139 people at one particular night, and so we had been working on recruiting the additional positions to open the women's shelter, but I think that really finalized that decision for us, that we got to really work hard to get the women's shelter open again. And fortunately, we were able to do that on December 4th, and we will keep both facilities open all the way through the remainder of the shelter season.
You mentioned 139 people just in one night.
Yeah.
Any guesstimate over a year's period how many people you are serving, how many are staying with you?
Yeah, so far this year we have over 360 unique individuals. 360. Last year, for the entire shelter season, we sheltered 605 individuals. So we are only a third of the way through the season, and we are already sheltering more than half the numbers that we sheltered last year. On a nightly basis, last shelter season, we were averaging about 99 people per year, or up until this point of the shelter season, we were sheltering 99 people per night. Now we are sheltering 116 people per night at both facilities combined. So we are 17% higher on a per night shelter capacity, or the number of people we serve, as compared to last year. So that
why is that happening, Jesse?
I think there's a lot of different issues. I think we see a growing number of chronically homeless individuals, situationally homeless, and then I think we have to acknowledge the lack of affordable housing in the Green Bay area. I think that is creating a lot of barriers for people to get sustainable housing.
So how long does a person stay? How long is a person allowed to stay?
Yeah, so our guests are, we have some guests that stay a night or two and straighten out their situation and find housing. We have some guests that stay with us the entire shelter season.
Really?
Yeah, what's really troubling for us, the length of stay for folks, it really points to the fact that there aren't good housing options in the community or barriers a person's facing to get housing. For example, last year at this time, or the entire season, I think it's 70% of our guests stayed in shelter 30 days or less, and now it has flipped where 70% of our guests are staying 30 days or more. So there's more long-term homelessness that we're experiencing. And we're committed to sheltering them and helping them move forward and creating lasting change with them, but it just kind of goes to show the growing need in our community for shelter services, but also affordable housing.
St. John's Ministries is called a last resort homeless shelter. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, low barrier last resort shelters. So our shelters are for people who don't qualify for other shelter services, or if there are capacity issues at other shelters that prohibit them from staying there, that we welcome them into our facilities. So we often reach out and we serve people that are really struggling with a variety of issues, whether it be substance abuse, alcoholism, mental health challenges, someone fleeing domestic violence. We exist so that people can come to us for shelter who literally have nowhere else to go.
We are back with much more with St. John's Ministries right after this, so please stay right there. Back on Newsmaker Sunday, this morning's topic, St. John's Ministries, and our guest is Executive Director Jesse Brunette. Jesse, homeless people, you're serving their immediate needs, but you're also serving other needs. And you mentioned earlier in the show other outlets you have, one being the Micah Center.
Yeah.
What is it? What do you do there?
So the Micah Center is located on the corner of Monroe and Stewart Street. And so at that facility, that is a year-round daytime resource center. So there, guests can engage with case management services. They can, get a warm meal or breakfast in the morning, oftentimes lunch when we have volunteers able to provide it. There's a computer lab there. We run our Joseph Project, which is a job training placement service, and just a variety of different ways. One of our parts of our mission is lasting change, create lasting change. And the thing about homeless individuals or those experiencing homelessness is that there's so many things that have led them to that situation. So every person experiencing homelessness is unique and different, and so we provide a variety of community resources to help them create lasting change so that they can go from their state of homelessness to permanent housing.
That's the Micah Center that we were looking at. What about Wellspring?
Yeah, Wellspring is connected to our women's shelter. So that again is a daytime resource center specifically for women that is also year-round, similar to the Micah Center. A lot of forward movement services, a lot of activities for women to do, not just those in our community who are currently homeless, but for women who maybe lack social connection, who are isolated, who maybe have broken family relationships. This is a place for them to go where they can connect with other women in a very safe and supportive community and engage. So not only are we helping those experiencing homelessness, but we're also providing, building familiarity and rapport to prevent women from becoming homeless.
And you mentioned the Joseph Project. As you're mentioning all the services you provide, is there ever an instance where somebody comes to you because they think that what they need is a place to stay? They need shelter for the night. It's cold out there.
Yeah.
Do they realize what else is available to them
Yeah,
through these projects?
I hope so. And I think part of that is building the community awareness.
I mean, do they know, when they walk in there,
do they?
do they realize, wow, I can get this?
Oftentimes not. I think for them, a lot of times the first, when a person presents to our door for shelter, there's usually a lot going on in their lives, a lot of trauma. So I think I'm speaking in very general terms, just the fact that they're safe for the night, that they can receive a meal and a shower service, do laundry, and then have a safe place to sleep. And really where it's important for us is to build that rapport and build that familiarity between our staff, our volunteers, so that those who are really experiencing the trauma, if it's the first time experiencing homelessness, that's a very traumatic thing. So with that rapport, with that safety, with that security, then we can engage with them in the case management services and say, oh, we'll help you with this, we'll help you with that, and it's wonderful. So to answer your question, no, not always, but with programs like this and getting the word out there, we can kind of spread the word for those experiencing homelessness that we have more services than just shelter services.
Well, as you say, when they first come in, they're in a traumatic state, they want a place to stay. They look at you and go, I don't care about your computer class.
In that moment. Not always, but but it's just building that relationship. So to go from the state of homelessness to housing, I mean, I think in a lot of ways it can feel insurmountable. And what we're trying to do with the lasting change is to create the small victories. Okay, you're safe now, you're sheltered, you're engaging in case management that may have been difficult for you, you're overcoming a bad relationship, and you're able to express that to someone that you trust. And it's just the little things that add up to long-term success.
Best case scenario in your mind, from when the person first walks in your door to the time that person walks out. What would you want to see?
I would say consistent to our mission statement, we're honoring dignity, we're restoring hope, and we're creating lasting change. People in this field, myself included, the ideal situation will be that we work ourselves out of a job, that we are engaging with our homeless brothers and sisters and helping them secure stable housing long term, and that shelters are no longer needed. That would be ideal.
You mentioned, of course, alcohol and substance abuse is often in that population that you're serving. Is there ever a situation where you dealt with someone, worked with someone, and you reach the point where you say, this person is beyond what we are able to do for them?
No, I think it's the faith component of what we do. And we believe that God creates all of us, and we all have inherent worth and value. And so I don't think we ever get to the point where we give up on someone. I think sometimes a person's past or trauma just accumulates to the point that, let's be honest, their personality can be difficult to deal with, but that doesn't mean that we treat them with anything less than full dignity. And then oftentimes it's just, let's start again. Let's work on this another day. Let's work on what you can accomplish today. We do have, safety and security regulations, so we got to make sure that all guests are safe and all guests are respected, even perhaps by that guest who may be less than respectful. So there's certain criteria there, but we will never give up on a person.
Lucky thing for them.
Yeah.
We are back to wrap up with Jesse in St. John's right after this, so stay right there. Back now with Jesse Burnett of St. John's Ministries. Volunteers, how many do you have? How important a role are they in your organization?
It would be a hazard to put an exact number because we have many between meal teams. So at 2 shelters, we serve a meal in the evening hours at both shelters and also often breakfast. So, volunteers of meal teams, laundry, those providing hospitalities, maintaining our grounds, engaging with guests, so many. I mean, we have, quite honestly, one of the best volunteer coordinators in the area, and she does a remarkable job for us, as well as all the committed volunteers.
Have you seen success stories? Are there any stories where you can say, that person came into us this way and went out that way, and we did that? Yeah,
daily. I mean, over 19 years, we have a lot of those success stories. Some of our guests have come back to become staff members.
Really?
One of our guests, just from last season to this season, has come back and led a Bible study in the Daytime Resource Center. So just so many victories and so many successes. It makes the work that we do so worthwhile to us.
Are you dealing, Jesse, with just an individual, or do family and friends ever come into play?
Yeah, so St. John's Ministries is for adults, and so we are engaged in partnerships with a variety of different shelter providers. So in our community, it's important that all shelters work together. So though we may not be sheltering children, our goal for families who maybe are a little disconnected, maybe the children are not staying with mom or dad, maybe because of some issues that their mom or dad have, that we shelter the adults and work with them through case management so that they can get on that path of maybe family reunification. So we, in a way, we serve families, just not directly.
Right. Obviously, you need cash, you need stuff. How can people donate to you?
Yeah, go on our website, St. John's Ministries, or stop by any of our facilities to get a up-to-date wish list. We provide a wish list on our website. Those are material items like bedding and paper towels, toilet paper. And then on the financial donation side, one of our challenges when we're serving 17% more people this year versus last year, which was a record number. That's 17% more of resources that we need to provide. So we're going to get through the shelter season fine in regards to keeping the shelters open, but in order to make that happen, we are always grateful for any community support in terms of financial contributions.
Jesse Brunette, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it.
Much appreciated. And if you have a newsmaker in your town who you think we should have on the program, let us know about it. Send us an email to tips@wearegreenbay.com, or you can message us on Facebook. And be sure to join us once again Sunday mornings, 7 o'clock. Until then, have a great day.